Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we're gonna be doing a AP Statistics Wording Bias project, and I'm here, Isaac Nokon, with Ange. Say hi, Ange.
Hi, Mr. V.
So our survey was conducted to determine if wording logically equivalent questions in different ways can influence the responses to the questions. 3 groups of 12 Notre Dame high school seniors were asked either a question without wording bias in support or in opposition of the death penalty, a question with wording bias in support of the death penalty, and a question with wording bias in opposition of the death penalty. The result of our survey was that the question with wording bias was successful in influencing the responses to the questions. Our survey is important because it highlights the instability of people's decisions on major issues, such as the death penalty, based on how questions are worded.
We chose the topic of the death penalty because it's an openly controversial topic that provides easy means to produce wording bias. 3 types of questions were used. The first one containing no bias, and the others provoking responses either in support or in opposition of the death penalty. The question without wording bias, which is the control, was do you think the death penalty is right or wrong? The question with wording bias in support of the death penalty is, should murderers and other brutal criminals be executed? The terms murderers and brutal criminals express a negative connotation, causing those being sampled to feel that the death penalty is a necessity. The question with wording bias in opposition to the death penalty is, do you think that the death penalty is wrong because those administering it do not have any moral right to do so and it results in taking another life? Including it results in taking another life causes those being sampled to feel more sympathetic and that the death penalty is unreasonable. The population of interest in this survey was the Notre Dame high school seniors, excluding the AP Statistics students. The procedure was conducted through a simple random sample. 36 seniors were randomly selected with a random name generator, and 12 were assigned to each question. Then the surveys were administered via texting, Snapchat, and direct messaging on Instagram in order to maintain proper social distancing. This survey is unbiased because all experimental units will be picked randomly from a large population. All 36 subjects were asked on November 16, and responses were recorded until November 22nd. If non-response bias occurred, or a Notre Dame senior refused to take part in the question, the unit was replaced with another senior, chosen by the random name generator. Each senior was also affirmed that all responses will be anonymous in order to eliminate all possibilities of response bias. The 3 basic principles of a good experimental design were achieved with this experiment because seniors were randomly assigned to each question, the question without wording bias was used as a control, and replication occurred with 12 different students for each question.
Group 1 received the question that contained no bias, resulting in all 12 units stating that the death penalty was wrong. Group 2 received the question that was meant to provoke responses supporting the death penalty. Out of the 12 units, 6 responded in support of the death penalty, while the other 6 did not. Lastly, Group 3 received a question that was meant to provoke a response against the death penalty. Out of the 12 units, only 1 responded in support of the death penalty, while the other 11 did not support the death penalty. Overall, the wording bias proved to be effective. In the question that was meant to induce support for the death penalty, support increased by 50% compared to Group 1 and 41% compared to Group 3. As for the question that was meant to induce opposition against the death penalty, there was a 41% increase in opposition compared to Group 2. With these results, it can be concluded that the wording bias proved effective on provoking certain responses from the experimental units. The only problem that was encountered during the procedure was non-response bias from 4 of the experimental units. These units were promptly replaced through random assignment. What could have been done differently is conducting surveys in person if there was no COVID-19, or a different topic could have been chosen. A question that would have brought up a unique discussion that pre-decided prejudices could not have affected. What can be learned from this project is that word choice and syntax poses a great influence on one's opinion or answers to a question. Thank you guys for watching me and Ange's project on how wording bias affects responses to survey questions. Say bye, Ange.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.